I have a debt validation verification package that is available to you listeners. It's real simple. The first thing is a letter. It's a notice, and it says notice right on it. You send this notice to the purported debt collector, whoever they may be, and it comes with a questionnaire for them to verify and validate the alleged debt they claim you owe them. So, my friends, what is a verification and a validation? Why, it's something that must be done under first-hand knowledge. If you got yourself a credit card, you got that credit card offer in the mail, and you're looking at it over your breakfast table, and it looks like it's got a check attached to it. All you got to do is sign here, and you're off and spending. Well, I ask you a question, my friends. Who was there from that company to witness you signing that thing? And did they give you full disclosure that when you sign this, you are creating the, quote, money, end quote, that they are now lending you? And then they're going to charge you for it and charge you interest for it? Did they tell you this? No, I doubt very much they told you. That is called fraud, my friends, and fraud vitiates the most solemn contract, including this. And this is nowhere near solemn, my friends. So, you send them a notice. Notice for verification. Send it to them, certified mail, so you can prove not only that you sent it to them, but they received it, because you'll have the green card. Get yourself a file folder. Mark the file folder, or big manila envelope, with the name of who it is that you're doing this action against, so you can keep everything in that file folder, because later on you're going to need it. I'll tell you why in just a little bit. So you send the notice off to them. You're telling them that you're giving them 10 days to respond to you. Why 10 days, my friends? Well, see, there's this thing called Rule Z of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. You've heard of it. It's the 72-hour rule. You have 72 hours to renege on any type of offer that's made to you. Well, how's 10 days equal out to 72 hours? Well, it's real simple, my friends. It's 3 days for the mail to get to them. It's the 3 days for them to renege on it, 72 hours, and 3 days for the mail to get back to you. Now, you can't string that many threes together without having at least 1 day for the Sabbath, so we'll throw that in there, and voila, you have 10 days. So, let's say, for the sake of argument, you mailed it off on the 1st. Not January 1st, because you can't mail anything on January 1st. But let's say it was February 1st. You mailed it off on February 1st. That means you now check your mailbox on the 11th. And when on the 11th it hasn't gotten there, you now mail them off your second letter. And that's the notice of fault. Yes, you heard me correctly. Fault. You find them in a condition of fault. Perhaps they did mail you something in response to your notice of verification. Look at what they sent you. If it's not a proper verification and validation, as those terms are very clearly defined in the original notice letter, then it's not a verification and validation. It is what we call a non-responsive response. They responded, but it wasn't responsive to what you're asking. So you send them off a notice of fault. You find them at fault, and you give them an opportunity to cure their fault 3 days. You've already given them the 10. Now you just give them 3 days because, well, they've already had their time. Their time is up. Now, 3 days later, so you send that off on the 11th. That's you can't count the day that you mailed it, so you send that off actually on the 12th, and then so the 13th, 14th, 15th, and now the 16th. You look in. If you, on midnight of the 15th you haven't gotten that fault corrected, now on the 16th you can now mail them the third and final letter, the notice of default. You hear a lot of people out there talking about, oh yeah, we're going to get people, we're going to find them in default. Yeah, we're going to get default. We're all this defaulting going on. But did they first find you at fault and give you an opportunity to cure? If you've been found in default, but you haven't been given fault with opportunity to cure, you're not in default, my friends. You first have to be found at fault and given an opportunity to cure. What does cure mean? It means to correct. So, you do all this. You send them all off certified green cards, so you get it mailed back to you when they got it. Now, they start to keep sending you stuff. You can just now first-class mail to them with a proof of mailing. That's only 75 cents. That you're still waiting, but they are in absolute default, and any further correspondence will be forwarded on to your state attorney general for possible prosecution. And you keep track of it. Now, if they try and take you to court, you demand a summary judgment based upon the facts, and you cite FRCP 12b-6, failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted, and exactly why they are stating a claim that have no relief can be granted, because their opportunity to cure their fault has passed. They are in default. You demand payment for your time and effort in correcting them and treble damages. You do it all in the form of an affidavit. You put the affidavit into the record. Now, my friends, every single time I've seen it done, as I've just laid it out to you, where you have all the documents all in order, and you remembered the 3 most important words when it comes to verification and validation of debt. And those 3 important words are follow up, follow up, follow up. You've got to follow up. That's why I say get yourself a manila folder or a big envelope and keep everything in it so you don't lose it. All your receipts, your green cards back, etc. So you know what you mailed, when you mailed it, and when it was received by them. And then, when it comes time and you actually go to court, you demand a summary judgment based upon the facts in the case. And since you're the only one who has put facts into the case, that's all you want. You want just those facts reviewed. You remind them of Trinzi versus Pagliaro, which it's cited in FRCP 12b-6, which states that comments, the arguments or briefs of attorneys, while enlightening to the court, are not sufficient for purposes of summary judgment or motion to dismiss. And my friends, everything in a court case is a summary judgment or a motion to dismiss. Hello?
You're listening to AVR, the American Voice Radio Network. We're on free-to-air KU band satellite at Galaxy 19 at 97 degrees west, frequency 11836 vertical with symbol rate 20.770. PID left audio channel. Visit our website at theamericanvoice.com.